What did you get today? You got Darth Vader's lightsaber. Darth Vader's one. And you got a Millennium Falcon toy. Didn't you?
Falcon toy.
Millennium Falcon.
Manny Falcon. Yeah.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or follow Britpod Scene on Twitter to find out.
Welcome to the All Seeing Guys, episode 129. Fuck me. We are once again joining you from the continuing easing of the lockdown, and the world continues to burn outside. I am Greg, and I can't mess up my own line then. And as always, I'm joined by Joseph Jackson.
Hello. Oh, don't give my full name. Not my birth certificate name.
Joseph Leonard Jackson.
Fuck. No, yeah. Hello. Hi. How you doing?
Pin number 1679. That isn't mine either. You know, sometimes when you pretend to give someone's bank number or any number you shouldn't give out, and you just end up doing your own. That isn't mine for anyone listening.
Yeah. What numbers did you
say?
say?
No need to try it.
What numbers did you say?
1679. I think I said.
That's not even close to being my numbers. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank God! Imagine if I actually did guess them.
I would just be like, mate, can you stop recording for a moment?
yeah. Can you just get rid of that, please?
Mate, can you just think of any random four numbers?
How's your week been? Well, I obviously asked Joe this question before we start recording, and he gives me a nice answer, and then I ask him on recording, and we don't want to say the same thing we've already told each other, so we just go, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's just like, well, mate, I've already told you. If you want to ask me that, just save it for the podcast, you know? No, it's been fine. I haven't been, there's not been a lot of events. I went for a big walk. I did a walk from Hampton Court to Surbiton via like Thames Ditton and all that.
Nice.
Saw the Swiss Army knife, Ed Woodison.
Nice, of course, yes.
But yeah, not a whole lot going on, in all honesty, this week.
Yeah.
I've been quite a lazy cunt.
Fair enough. Deserved. You're allowed to be a lazy cunt at the moment. In fact, they encourage it at the moment.
Yeah.
I've had pretty quiet. Well, I say quiet week. Lizzie went back to work.
I didn't ask.
I've been on. I know you didn't. I've asked myself. Lizzie went back to work, so I've been on dad duty of Indiana for the week, and it's actually been very, very good.
Nice, excellent.
Yeah,
you had
exactly what I needed.
You enjoyed your week, yeah? Nice.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I feel pretty good. It was good hanging out of Indiana, and just like, and I've said this before, she's really getting into Star Wars. And it wasn't even me that pushed it on her. Someone else bought us a book years ago, I think before she was even born, of like a kid's book of like Darth Vader and Leia as a daughter, like as his little girl.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Vader and his little princess. And it's just silly little pictures, and she loved it. And then she found another book we had, which was about Chewbacca and the Porgs on an island. And so she has these two Star Wars books, and it's just kind of grown from there. And now it's at the point where this morning we watched the same scene from the end of Rogue One when Vader slaughters everyone in this hallway. Honestly, we watched it over. Every time it finished, she was like, again, over, and over, to the point where even I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Your daughter loves a massacre. What are you going to do?
Does.
What's next? You're going to show her the CCTV footage from Columbine?
Well, now I've got her this evening. It arrived, her Darth Vader lightsaber.
Nice.
And I've got myself the Luke one. We haven't put batteries in it yet.
So what you're saying is your daughter is evil.
Oh yeah, and she wanted the Vader one as well. She was really happy. So so we've been this evening playing Star Wars. So I'm looking forward to when Lizzie's at work next week and me and Anna can really get stuck in and do some.
Does she do the hand or anything? Does she do like the?
Yeah, she does. She doesn't entirely get it just yet, but she did do the hand to me today. Yeah.
Did you respond accordingly?
Yeah, I did. I started going. But then she's like, "Daddy, are you okay?" I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm doing acting."
Yeah. It's not real. It's not real, you fucking idiot.
It's not real, Jesus. It's not a real lightsaber either.
All right, gay.
Do you ever, last episode then at the beginning, we talked about how obviously the world is changing and things are happening on Zoom more and more often. It's becoming like everyday occurrences. Did you see, obviously last time we talked about the murder on Zoom, didn't we, where the guy was stabbed on Zoom. Did you see the guy that started wanking? He didn't mean to.
Well, who hasn't? I mean, you know. What do you mean he didn't mean to?
Well, he was on like a work conference call. And and obviously he had to still stay. His piece was done, and he obviously thinks he's left the call. And you see him press something, and his camera does flash off and then back on. So he must have accidentally hit the camera button on and off. And you see him get up and wander around, and like everyone carries on chatting. And then you see him like grab a load of like tissues. And then he sits, and then he's about to sit down. And he starts unbuckling his belt, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" He's got this little lube. He's squirting lube in his hand, like very American thing, isn't it? Squirting lube in your hand for a while.
Yeah, I don't. Is lube like? I mean, is that like a common thing with masturbation? It just feels like more.
In like all American Pie and any American sort of show, it just seems like something they do is just squirt a little fucking lubricant on their hands for a while.
I just never thought like masturbation needed an accessory, you know?
No, exactly. Yeah, well,
not for me anyway. Like,
but he starts unbuckling it, and he's obviously watching some kind of screen. He thinks he's not watching them talk. He's obviously got another browser up. He's obviously thinks he's turned that off, and he hasn't. And I grabbed the audio to play here.
Oh, nice.
Of just like their reactions as it starts happening. Mate, it's ridiculous. Right. It's only a short bit, this clip.
Hang on.
Have I gone back enough? There we go.
Look, we're 0.15% higher than 2019. We started this quarter off at 2.75%.
Holy shit.
Daniel, God.
I don't think he's Daniel. January. Can you do that for us?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Oh
my God.
You call Daniel on his cell. Call Daniel on his cell. How do we turn this feed off?
Wow. We can't. Daniel. Oh my God. Daniel is the host. Holy shit.
The panic, just the panic of everyone's like, the guys.
Are we gonna watch this?
The guys on there are just pissing themselves. They're doing nothing to help. They're just laughing.
Yeah.
And all the women on there are just like, oh my god, he's the host. That's why he probably couldn't leave the thing, because he was the host. Like, he's the host. Fuck, man.
Oh my god.
That would be a hard one to come back from.
A hard one, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a tough one to come back from. That would be.
There is no excuse.
There's no excuse.
What do you do? If you're not masturbating, what are you doing with a handful of tissues and some lubricant? That isn't masturbation.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just wait till the call's over? I mean, gee, were you that desperate?
Was it that serious?
It was that desperate that it had to happen right there and then while the call was happening.
He was just I didn't have my morning wank. Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there's been I saw one of a girl went for a piss and she didn't realise the camera was still on a laptop, and everyone's like, no! It was like the same thing. And then she realises halfway through and like slaps the screen down. Like, I'm sure there's been loads. I'm sure.
Yeah, of course, man. Everyone's like, at home, you just like... Yeah. Just being natural, you're being yourself, doing like whatever. If you're on your own as well, like even more of a reason not to give a shit.
The other side of lockdown, we'll probably see a lot of compilations of these on YouTube.
Yeah, this will become the new like you being framed.
Yeah, you've been zoomed. Like
you've been zoomed. There you go. Everything last week we're just doing Zoom-related TV shows. Last week it was Zoom Court. Now we're being you've been zoomed.
So you've been zoomed. Pat Sharp's Zoom House.
Zoom House. I love Zoom House. I'm already on board with Zoom House.
Didn't he present something recently for a BBC? During I think it was early into lockdown. He like hosted like one of their like online streaming festivals. Like Oh, you know what I just remembered I've got to do, talking about the last episode. I didn't log into a Lizard Man.
Oh,
I'm
fuck,
sure
we missed Lizard Man.
I must be able. Yeah, I'm sure if I go on their Facebook or their website, the videos will still be there.
I forgot to remind you as well. I was going to remind you.
So I can go back and still watch. I'm sure I'm going to go back and watch those before the next episode and see what snippets of Glorious there was. Or
Lizard
just
Man
like,
update.
Yeah, I'm just like, it was 10 hours of gibberish, Joe. I couldn't do it. Like, I'm done. I'm out.
It was like being at school, but school for crazy people.
Speaking of gibberish, should we go into some geese drops, which are now locked out?
If you got them.
I've got two, and they're actually pretty good. Lockdown drops. Fuck yeah.
Lockdown drops. They're the worst sweet ever.
Having a listen. Obviously, as I said last episode, I'm running out of geese dropping. I'm not out and about hearing people talk as much to like snatch snippets of their conversation. But these two, I both heard what... Actually, no, one of them I heard in the queue for the newsagent. And I was queuing up in the newsagent, or queuing up for the social distancing, queuing up to get into the shop, waiting for someone to come out. Just a local shop, going in to get me rum. And there was a guy behind me, and another guy joined the queue and obviously knew him and was just like, "Oh, Steve!" And the golf courses had just opened this week.
Oh yeah,
and he obviously was like, "Have you been to the golf course?" No. I couldn't really hear them, but then I just heard him go, "Harry Potter got a hole in one on number 17."
Harry Potter.
Obviously a nickname for their mate.
Jesus
I
Christ.
imagine he's good at putting.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, I don't know how you've put those two together. I want to know what the Harry Potter element of it is.
It was great though, just the way he was like, "Harry Potter." I was like, I guess his name is Harry. Like,
Could be
it was.
Harry.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I sniggered to myself a bit. but yeah, that was a great geese job. Harry Potter got a hole in one, number 17. The other guy was like, "No."
I love it.
Another one. This one's a bit more serious. I think it was a bunch of young girls, walking past me in the woods, having a bit of a natter. And this one, this girl was sharing a harsh realization that she's come to.
Okay.
And she shared it with her friends, and unbeknownly, shared it to me.
And our audience of hundreds.
I walked past and I heard her say to her friends, "I'm just coming to the harsh realization that I'm done with having a fringe."
No, all right, hang on. No, that is... The fringe, I've come to realise that the fringe is a big thing, because you can't just cut it off, you've got to grow it out, and it's just like a long-winded process.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor girl.
Right, so there you go.
Oh, that poor girl. She's really going through some things.
Yeah, well, I mean, her hair looked pretty long anyways. Lockdown's a great time to grow out your fringe, isn't it, surely?
Yeah, like no one's going to see you, apart from your mates, and they probably all hate you anyway, so don't worry about it.
Well, she was with like a group like 4 girls. None of them were socially distant from each other. Just, through the woods, having a fucking whale of a time. You see a lot more groups of people over there now, which is fine. You're allowed to.
Well, I've been, of course, on my vigorous walks from the park, on my daily walks. I've now obviously take this little side route which goes like, so there's walls that go around the entire park, and on the other side of the walls is people's gardens.
Right.
So like I walked past one the other day, and there was a big old speaker system up on the wall, just blaring out some sort of radio station, and then above that, or beyond that, sorry, was like, I'm guessing a decking, or these people were 8 feet tall. But there was like 5 geezers all just stood around on this decking, like having a beer, and it was like 2 p.m. It was just like, that's pretty good. I'm down with that.
Yeah. Can I any room in the decking for a Joe,
Yeah.
please?
I want to just like lean up and just see my hand, just turn the dial to a different radio station. But yeah, so but also this is where this bench is. There's a bench in the middle
your
of this,
bench you've been
my
frequenting.
Bench, my little smoking bench. But
recently, it's actually on fire.
Yeah. But there's so it's gone through some stages of the bench. Like it got demolished by vandals, and then it got rebuilt, which was weird.
Who rebuilt it?
I don't know, mate. I mean, I say rebuilt. It's the majority of the bench on 2 stumps.
Right. Okay.
So it's a weird setup. But now, obviously people go there, because I go there now, and there's vodka bottles and a fire pit that's obviously been made.
Yeah.
Shit. And people just go there to hang out. But now, because it's been when it's been super sunny, I go this little route to sort of just stay out the sun. But I always see teenagers either like coming from or going towards that bench. Always. I'm just like, it's the smoker's bench.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, take a number if there's a queue, wait your turn.
How long are you going to be?
How long are you going to be? So that was my geese drops. Before we move on into some of the stories I'd line up, I just wanted to quickly mention that I have finished that The Last Dance Chicago Bulls documentary on Netflix.
Oh, how good was that?
Yeah, it was really, really good, man.
That was
and
awesome.
You know what? Many things like that, even TV series, I'm always like 10 episodes is too much. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel that with this.
No.
I was, every time an episode finished, I was like, another one.
I think the reason, I mean, did you watch it all whilst it was doing it because it came out in like weekly episodes?
No, we were pretty much watching 2 a night.
That's decent.
But then occasionally we were like, Wednesday we have our classic movie night, so we didn't watch it then, or I'd be doing something else. So there was a couple of nights we didn't watch it. Yeah. But on average, we're watching 1 if it was late and 2 if it was mild, early to watch 2.
Yeah.
And then we finished it last night, so we never had to wait. The time I think the later episodes were being released when I started watching it, and by the time we got there, they were all there.
Yeah. No,
the short answer is, Joe, no, they were all there when I watched them.
Because I'd started watching it, and I think I watched like 3 episodes, and then I watched, I think, 5 episodes, and then at that point is where I'd caught up, and I hadn't realised that it was like I only realised until like afterwards that there was like dates for the next release ones, and I was like, shit. But I stuck it out, and it wasn't long. But I could watch that shit all day because that was just like that was when I was like peaking to like basketball and shit.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying to Lizzie. A lot of the times I was like, some of them, like especially like 1998, I was like, God, I remember that. Like especially the last episode with the fucking Game 6 that almost went into Game 7.
Oh yeah,
and, and I was like, God, I remember Pippin having the bad back. Like I remember at school everyone being like, oh, he kept leaving because his back was fucked.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, so there were certain elements of it that I was like, fuck, I remember that happening.
But then even in the flashbacks, there was things that I remembered. Like, I remembered like them winning in '93. I remember when he left, and it was like the 94-95 season without him, because it was like the rivalry with the New York Knicks in that one was fucking brutal as well.
Yeah.
And it was just it was just really well done. I like how it jumped back. I like that there was all the sort of talking heads with them now and shit. The stuff with Dennis Rodman was amazing.
It was awesome. He was great in it.
Dennis Rodman was fucking brilliant.
Like he was really good in it. Like he was good, and they could have really made it the Rodman show of all the crazy stuff he got up to. But even he said in it, I was just being Rodman, like just doing that. Cool. That's what we don't really need to focus on that anymore.
Yeah.
That he was awesome in it. I was like, a lot of it, I was like, man, Michael Jordan sounded like he was a bit of a dick if you were on his team. Fuck. Like,
man. But I mean, everyone says that, man. It's the mentality of like someone who wants to be the best. It's just like they're a bit of a fucking sociopath, and they're a bit of a fucking, like narcissist. Like they're like,
I've forgotten all the shit about his dad. Like I'd forgotten all about that. Like I mean, as soon as it happened, I was like, "Fuck, I remember this." Like, but I'd forgotten it had happened to him.
The annoying thing for me was that I always took like the plot of Space Jam to be legit, and he was just like, "I'm gonna go play baseball because it's what my daddy would have wanted." Like,
I mean, funnily enough, so because we're watching that, Space Jam was our Wednesday night classic film.
Oh, sick! Yeah, well done.
So we watched Space Jam, and we only had 1 episode left of Last Dance when we watched it.
Yeah.
And it is pretty much the same. Like even in the press conference he gives in Space Jam about going to play baseball. Yeah. He says the exact same line. He says in real life when he leaves Chicago Bulls, when he's like, my father saw me play my last game, so I don't need to play anymore.
Yeah.
Like he says that in. Like, they obviously don't mention in Space Jam that his father was brutally murdered and, like, missing for 3 weeks. Like, they don't go into that detail.
Mate, that is crazy, isn't it?
But he does say in it, there are a lot of parallels. So when you're watching the documentary and you watch Space Jam straight off the back of it, the first 20 minutes of Space Jam is almost exactly what happens in the documentary.
Yeah.
Minus the Looney Tunes.
And they just I mean, there's obviously no mention of like the lockout and everything, and he's just like,
No,
I'm
no,
not playing
no.
baseball anymore. Oh, I guess I'll just go back to basketball.
Yeah. And then he goes straight back to basketball.
yeah.
And it's so funny watching all the other players in it try and act as well.
yeah.
Because I forgot all the actors in it. I forgot fucking Barkley was in it and stuff.
It's like Charles Barkley, Larry Johnson,
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing, Muggsy Bogues because he was really little.
Yeah, Muggsy's there, yeah.
But I like they got.
I'm
those
just short
people-
now.
Yeah. I'll tell you on the back of like stuff that we were watching on Netflix.
I don't think it held up. That's the last thing I was going to say. Space Jam didn't hold up as well as I
Didn't
wanted it to.
hold
Watch.
up?
No,
Fair
not
enough.
really. It
Not
was a
even with
bit.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's not in it that much though. He's
not,
literally in the golf bit at the beginning, and then right at the end he shows up.
I
and
love
that's
that.
literally it.
I love that. You know, because obviously when in Space Jam when he gets the hole in one and they make him like kneel down near it to take a picture. And, they go
What
to
kind of
take it
camera
and he
is that?
snaps it and he's just like, what kind of camera is that? And he points it at Bill Murray and he just slaps it out of his hand like, don't point that at me.
And it's such a perfect delay before he asks the question as well.
It's so
what kind of
good.
camera is that? I mean, that is the funniest bit. It is the funniest bit.
It's so good. But
But there's stuff in that film they wouldn't get away with now. Like they use all the cartoons use guns. Like,
But that's-
like
I mean,
the
it's cartoons, though,
I know,
man.
but they don't now, do they? Like Bugs Bunny's very like, you know, with the way he is with the female, just like come here, toots and stuff you just couldn't do now.
But then
which I
that's
kind of
why.
appreciate.
But then that's why they make her like not a dominant female role, but like she's like she whoops his ass in the basketball 1-on-1. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just like,
At
fuck
the
you, you
beginning.
chauvinistic Brit. Like
Yeah, at the beginning, then she's instantly into him. But it was good. It was fun to watch. Lizzie was like, "I haven't seen this," and then she fell asleep.
still hasn't seen
But
it then.
I still stuck it out.
Yeah, man.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to finish up my Spaceballs story. Things you're watching on
Spaceballs?
Netflix. Spaceballs, Space Jam. I watched the wrong film.
No wonder she didn't enjoy it. I watched a few things, but the main one was the Jeffrey Epstein documentary.
Oh, have you watched that?
Yeah, it's like a 4-parter, and it's just bleak. It just makes you so fucking angry.
Yeah, it's why I've not watched it yet.
Nah, yeah, it's ugh.
I will, but I've not really wanted to have my evenings filled with bleakness just yet.
Nah, it is, man, because there's just such if you like. It's just the rich getting away with being like the worst fucking people because they can and they can afford to, and it's just like fuck these people, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nasty.
It's rough. It's
No.
yeah, and it's all obviously like the accounts of the girls, the survivors, and stuff like that. It's their accounts of the scenarios and how they got into it, and like it's just fucking horrific, man. Guy was just a straight up like fucking deviant. He was just an utter deviant. And I'm just not sure about how he died. Sorry, I'm not wanking. I'm not having a wank right now. Sorry.
Obviously, I can see Joe on video, listeners. It does look like he's just started
I'm having
wanking
his
slightly
own
off
wank.
camera.
Just clean him a screen. Just clean him a screen. What are you doing? Come on.
I was just cleaning my screen and my dick went off. Like, I don't know what happened.
I was using my
Whoops.
penis to clean the screen. Yeah, I watched that, and I watched it was the thing about acid and LSD, but it's all from the point of view of like.
I do want to watch this.
That's well worth watching, man. That
I've been
is
after.
good. That is good
I remember
fun.
reading about it when they were making it and
Yeah.
like who was being on it. So it has been. Oh, I haven't had my eye on it for a while, but I've not actually had a chance to sit down and watch it yet.
That is good fun because it's like it's
Carrie Fisher's in it, right? Isn't she?
Carrie Fisher's in it. Yeah, she talks about like when she was like in her peak Star Wars fame, and she was I think she took acid, or LSD on because she'd heard about it from like John Belushi, and she was in like
She was in Blues Brothers with him.
Yeah. But like she took it like at a like exotic island or something like on a vacation, and she took it and she was like said she was on the beach like tripping her bollocks off, and like she was topless and like thinking she was like completely free and everything, and then she looked behind her and like a busload of like Chinese tourists turn up because apparently like she was in a destination where they just take all the tourists and shit. But it's really cool because it's all done with like animations and like so it animates their stories, so like. And they'll like they'll draw it to the extent of like how they would have looked, or if they say something relevant to it, it's like they'll draw that in as well. Like
Nice.
It's really cool. Like
Yeah. I'm looking for. Okay, I'm gonna give that a watch.
yeah, absolutely. And like there's like David Spade's in there. ASAP Rocky makes an appearance, but I think like
Nice.
he just turns it all into like a sexual thing, and he's just like, yo, for real, like a rainbow shot out my dick. And it's just like, that seems like such a cliche, like, fucking drug experience. Something shot out of my dick.
I always remember someone telling me, it wasn't even a trip I was having. It was a trip, someone telling me of a trip about a trip they had when they were at a house party, and they kept seeing like cracks appear in the floor, like almost like almost like animated cracks, kind of like getting wider and wider.
Yeah.
And he said he saw words start floating out of these cracks, and they kept spelling the word breakfast. And it got to the point where he couldn't be in the room anymore because the word breakfast was just floating everywhere. And it was like balloons, but the word breakfast coming out of these cracks in the floor he was imagining, to the point it was all hitting the ceiling and just piling down, and he was like getting lower and lower as I will get out of this room, or the word breakfast is going to crush me, which is interesting.
That's a good one.
He's told me that, and I think I was off my tits when he told me, but I've never forgotten that story.
I told the one of my experience of like mushrooms in London, and I thought we were going to get attacked by homeless people. But then there's other things that I remember from that day. Like there was at one point we were in Regent's Park, and my favourite bit was when we went to the British Library, or the British Library Museum that I kept calling it. And we were walking towards it. All the way we'd been walking, we'd been like furiously smoking cigarettes. Like as soon as one was out, because we just needed it. Just our hands just needed to be busy.
Yeah.
So we got to the British Library and we were just like, we can ask them for directions on how to get to Hyde Park, because otherwise we're just going to be walking around in circles. And so we started walking towards there, and then we saw like a no smoking sign, and I freaked out and just immediately just started like chucking my cigarette on the floor and stamping on it, making sure they couldn't see it. And like, because I thought we'd get in trouble for smoking. And then we walked in after taking deep breaths, and we all three of us walked in, and it was like walking into heaven.
Yeah.
Because it was so quiet. And
scary
like,
place to want to go.
Yeah, it was
well,
quite
in that
impressive.
frame of mind.
So like, what Chris at the time was the only one who was really sort of like confident enough to say that he could speak to someone. So he went towards the reception for us for like any sort of directions or anything that they can do to help. Just anything.
Help me.
Just help. And so whilst that's going on, I'm in the corner trying to take my shoes off because I don't want to soil heaven with my dirty shoes. And my mate's just like, yeah, maybe you should keep your shoes on, mate.
I'll take my trousers off too.
Oh man, but then
I'm not at home.
So we ended up in Regent's Park thinking that was Hyde Park. And then we just like, we'll just start walking for a bit, obviously. And then my friend Chris and Rob heard a noise. And it was, I now realise what it was. And it was, you know, the sound of like metal pipes when they hit each other. Like, bang.
Yeah.
It made this sort of like, bang sound. And they both stopped and was like, what was that? It sounded like the Prodigy. And it did. It sounded like the intro of like, bound up, bound up, bound up, bound up, bound up. And they just started singing it. And I had to like shout and just be like, look at yourselves. I had it. Like,
I'm the responsible one here.
I still wish I could find this video of us on this trip, because it was. It's ridiculous. It's like an hour of just chaos.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I've had my fair share of chips, but I'm not going to open that box right now because who knows what's happened. I had actually put together some news stories that have been happening recently that have been popping up, and we're starting to get some news that isn't just, you know, the world burning outside.
Careful.
We're starting to get some other news.
Tread carefully, Greg. Tread carefully.
Yeah, we're starting to get some other news. So this one, I believe, this is under the so this happened in Australia.
Basically,
was,
we're just bringing you stuff that's happened that just
Yeah.
might not have got some attention
Yeah.
because of some particular situations going on in the world.
Men hired for sexual fantasy break into wrong house.
Yeah, I saw.
In a sex fantasy gone wrong, 2 men with machetes entered the wrong house in New South Wales, Australia, before quickly realising their error. One of them has now been acquitted of entering a home armed with a weapon in July 2019. They'd been hired to carry out a client's fantasy of being tied up in his underwear and stroked with a broom. The judge concluded that the facts of the case are unusual. The role play was arranged over Facebook by a man in Griffith, New South Wales, who provided his address to the hired pair. He was willing to pay... What? willing to pay a 5,000. This is
No.
a mistake in the article here, BBC, because A is like part of the. They've put a capital A, no space, $ 5,000.
Oh, it's
And
like
it's
they've
Australian
it's
dollars?
Like it's not like you ever do that sometimes where you use like a certain
Yeah.
sign or logo and it just like for some reason it
Links it together.
just doesn't pick it up.
5,000 if it was really good, the judge said. So if the guy found
Australian dollars. That's what
That's
it
what
is.
I was thinking. That's what I just realised. Australian dollars. He was going to pay 5,000 Australian dollars if it was really good. However, the client moved to another address 50 kilometres without updating the two men. What an idiot. They then entered a home on the street of the original address. When the resident noticed a light on in his kitchen at 6:15, he assumed it was a friend who came by daily to make morning coffee. That's a very Australian thing.
No,
though.
right. There's a lot of weirdness in this fucking situation. Number one, the first thing I have an issue with is why would you organise like a sex theme fantasy during the process of moving house? Doesn't seem very logical, you know? You're just and also, why wouldn't you tell them? You're like, oh shit, guys,
I've moved house.
Just remembered, I've moved house. I've moved to a different direction or a location. Maybe you should come there instead, because probably if you go there, you end up that's not someone's fantasy, that's someone's nightmare.
So what happened? So when the men called out the name of their client, the resident turned on the light and removed a sleep mask he was wearing. It was in that moment he saw them standing above his bed with machetes, which they appeared to have bought as props for the roleplay. When they realised their error, the pair said, "Sorry, mate," and shook the resident's hand, according to reports. The two men then drove to the correct address, where their client noticed one man had a great big knife in his trousers and asked them to leave their weapons in the car. The client then cooked bacon, eggs and noodles, and a short time later, the police arrived at the property, found the machetes in the car and arrested the hired pair. What a weird story.
That is, I mean, was it worth $5,000? I mean, at least I hope they got that money.
A lawyer for Terence Leroy said who's one of the accused said it was a commercial agreement to tie up and stroke a semi-naked man in his underpants with a broom. Wow.
Well, that's the artwork sorted.
Jesus. Wow, that is a hell of a story. Like, so okay, so
And they were they wearing masks?
I didn't say.
They should have worn masks.
So he was into being stroked with a broom handle. Now I'm picturing like a wooden broom, like an old school broom, like what fucking Trigger has in Only Fools and Horses.
Oh yeah, that's a weird reference.
But I'm also looking at like my mop over here in the corner and being like, that's a broom handle technically, so it would just be the plastic bright red one. I mean, stroked with a broom handle. I mean, I don't judge people and their sexual fantasies like that, but. And I tried to really understand them, but that one I'm really struggling with.
Yeah, I just need a bit more context, in all honesty.
Not even the broom, like the broom end. I could imagine that being quite nice.
Maybe that's it.
On your back,
like
maybe.
The bristles.
Well,
maybe.
it's not. It specifies multiple times in this article.
Broom
it's
handle.
The broom handle. Unless he likes it up his bum.
Well, there you go, Greg.
Oh, get me of that broom handle, please. Just tap me gently on me thigh. Oh, we're cooking now. I love that he made them bacon, eggs and noodles as well when they arrived at his house. Oh, mate, we went to the wrong house and almost killed the guy, almost sexually abused the guy with a broom handle. Well, luckily he was okay about it, and now we're here to see you.
If that was Greg, if you woke up and two men were standing over you with machetes and a broom, I'd feel quite threatened. I don't know about you. I'd be like, what's going on?
Oh, we're meant to do a sexual fantasy. Sorry.
Not here, mate.
Oh, it's all right, mate.
Not here, mate. No, we've been hired. By who?
Oh, right. By who? Oh, right. He used to live here. Off you go, guys. All right, have a good day.
You have the wrong house, sir.
And then when they get to the right guy, he's like, oh, can you leave your weapons in the car?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Because you've showed up with machetes for some reason. Right.
They're method, mate. They're method actors.
I don't think machetes are part... Man, that's
I don't remember mentioning machetes.
That's a crazy story, man. It can't, without anyone actually getting hurt, it almost has that weirdness to the whole shotgun story we revisited last episode, where it was a sexual fantasy and somebody was kind of asked to do it and ended up getting in trouble with the police. It's kind of what's happened here. They've been asked to do this and now they're screwed because they entered into the wrong house.
That just goes to show you that you will end up in jail if you
don't involve strangers with sexual fantasies, and I mean unless it's in a controlled environment, because you must be so desperate to seek that.
I don't think not a controlled environment, just the correct environment.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what I mean. I mean like a safer environment, because like maybe you don't want your friends and family to know you get off and getting stroked with a broom handle, so you haven't got anyone close to you can ask. But asking two random guys on Facebook. Asking two random guys on Facebook to like come round to your break into a house and stroke you with a broom handle just doesn't seem like the safest option, man.
No, it's not.
Like,
not just that's like a Craigslist advert.
Right.
We should definitely find like a list of like, oh, we should go and spend some time on Craigslist and see what the mentalist thing is we can find.
Well, that's pretty much how Kevin Smith made the Tusk film, isn't it?
Yeah, I read that recently.
Pretty much what happens. I was listening to the podcast when he first read it, and they joked about making a film, and the episodes start actually documenting it happening.
Yeah,
you almost listen to it in real time as he starts writing. He's like, I'm not even joking. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and write the script, and he does. So yeah, man, that's one of those stories I kind of want to find out if they. I'm sure they couldn't have got in trouble. Maybe it depends if the other guy would have pushed. They did have machetes. Oh, they had machetes. They've broken someone's house with machetes. They could easily go to jail for fucking 10 years or so.
Yeah,
although it is Australia.
But the guy was still just like, no, it's all right.
I'll cook you guys breakfast.
I hope they turned to him in Zoom call and were just like, you said it was all right, mate.
You've cooked me bacon, eggs, and noodles. I've cooked you bacon, egg, and noodles. Any chance you can quickly stroke me with that broom handle?
Any chance?
Did you guys bring? Did you guys bring a broom? You didn't bring a broom.
Luckily,
machetes.
I have several.
I don't have any brooms. I moved house. I left them there. I was gonna get a fresh start. New me, new start. New broom.
I feel like you actually just wanted a broom.
I just really wanted to tidy up my new house.
That's a really weird way to just ask for a broom.
I'm really into me broom.
Also, in your next advert, specify bring broom.
It's like the whole. I never seen the film, but obviously the young guy memes that came out of 50 Shades of Grey, where he's like, "Oh, I have."
A room.
My desires are questionable, or something like that. And he opens
they're
the
like
room, and they always change the sex room to like be something else in the meme.
Yeah.
And this one would just be like a shed with just brooms in it.
Just a room full of brooms.
I call this one the Hummer. This one's called the Straddler. This one's called the Ever Deepening Well. And this one's called Oh God, get help. Never get help when I call for help. It's all part of the magic of the broom.
I call this one Edmondo.
And this one's called Dave. Oh, cool.
It's quite a
Shall I
human,
use any
quite
of
a
these?
human
No.
name there. Quite a
I'm
human
not letting
name.
you touch my broom.
Do you, by any chance, with all these brooms you have, act out that one scene in Fantasia?
It's my favourite film. How did you know?
Is that what it was about?
That's my favourite film.
Oh, yeah, what a coincidence.
I like
Coinky dinky.
It all started when I was playing that game they play in Harry Potter when they ride brooms.
Quidditch.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It always sounded like slang for a £1 coin to me.
Oh, Linda's a Quidditch.
Yeah. That'll be 50 Quidditch, please.
50 Quidditch. I've got a quid itch.
Look, there's a Quidditch in for it. In for it for
I
you.
like being scratched with pound coins.
That's a hard word to say. There's a Quidditch in for it for you. There
Come and feed my Quidditch.
Come and feed my Quidditch. Yeah, I like that. I'm on board.
Well,
I fully support you doing artwork involving brooms being just us lying down with our bums out and just.
I was gonna do us as the perpetrators.
That makes more sense. Yes.
Just you and me going fucking double-ended on a broom. What is this?
To ass.
Is this Rec Room for a Dream? What the
Rec
fuck?
Room for a podcast. Fucking.
I'm out. If this is the way this podcast's going, I'm done.
It always goes this
We'll
way.
make it to 1:30 and then we'll just go our separate ways.
Right, we have got a.
Yes. What else? What else is there?
We got another story. This one actually was sent to me. I'd seen it. You then sent it to me. It's obviously a story that's been that's been breaking through the news feeds and getting in people's forefront here. And we're moving away from Australia to Spain for this one. Bit of a round the world, well, not around the world, a two-country trip episode.
we're living in a time where we need to be raising awareness, and what I really want this article to do is raise awareness
Awareness.
towards.
I'll give you a Quidditch to say it right, son.
Nah, keep it.
Keep your
This is a time to be raising awareness, and I want us to be raising awareness about psychedelic toads.
So, Spain porn star, not even Spanish, Spain porn star held after man dies in toad venom ritual. It's a fucking headline.
Eloise,
That
if you're still listening, this one's for you.
Yes, it's a fucking headline. In Madrid, a porn star has been arrested on manslaughter charges following a man's death during a mystic ritual in which he inhaled psychedelic toad venom.
I'm down. I don't know about you,
His
Greg,
name was
I'm
not
down.
Nacho. His name was Nacho?
Nacho Vidal.
Oh, right, yeah, he's the porn star, isn't he? Nacho Fidel was detained last week in southeastern Valencia, in the Valencia region, in connection with the death of a man in July 2019. The same time the other guy was getting felt up by a broom.
Yep.
Media
Hey,
identified
mate,
the victim.
a lot happened, you know.
In July 2019, media identified the victim as fashion photographer Jose Luis Abad. The police operation began following the victim's death during the celebration of a mystic ritual based on the inhalation of venom of the Bufo alvarius toad. I definitely said that wrong. Alvarius toad. The toad, a rare species which is native to the Sonoran Desert, stretching from northern Mexico to California and Arizona, secretes venom containing a very powerful psychedelic substance known as 5-MeO-DMT. We recognise those last three words, don't we?
Ah.
Its effects have been compared to, I can never say this word, ayahuasca. It's the famous ayahuasca. I love listening to people's experiences with that, man.
Yeah, man.
I love
great.
like when they actually,
it's like peyote, isn't it?
yeah, but it's not like when people actually like go to this temple and do it, and they're there.
There's
it just
like a whole
sounds
fucking ritual, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds insane.
You know what I was saying about this fucking this documentary about people's like acid trips and shit?
Yeah,
The first person they speak to, Sting.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah,
they just
he was
says
ready to
he went to Mexico to have like a full on peyote experience, and just said he was fucking gone.
So it causes a powerful hallucinogenic concoction from the Amazon consumed as part of a shamanic ritual. Following an 11-month inquiry, police arrested Fidel, one of his relatives, and an employee on suspicion of manslaughter and crimes against public health. Investigators said they discovered such rituals were carried out regularly on the grounds they offered medical benefits. So they were offering it as like, come to us, and it'll be some sort of medical benefit they were promising people to come do this toad venom.
I think, because it seems like, if it's DMT based, I feel like they were just up for like a hallucinating shit without doing crystal meth or whatever. And but at the same time, maybe it was a sex thing.
Well, local press said the ceremony took place in the country residence of Fidel, a media-savvy porn star in his mid-40s whose Twitter feed is full of ads for his 25 centimeter aromatic candles of the male genitalia, available in black and white.
I'm buying.
That's literally how the article ends.
I'm buying.
That is literally how the article ends. It doesn't even just says he was arrested. Doesn't say what's happened afterwards. The guy doesn't even go into detail about what the guy just died. I don't understand what happened. Like,
I'm sold. I don't know about you, Greg, but I am hook, line, and sinker.
So the porn star was like, people come to my house. You can do this venom. You inhale it. It's gonna fuck you up for a bit, but it has medical benefits. And then someone died, and now the jig's up.
But did it say how he died? Because I can't remember really reading how he died.
It doesn't. It just says he died.
Just drop dead?
It doesn't say. There must be other articles that maybe do a bit in depth, but that's literally all. That doesn't really. It just says the guy died. It doesn't even say much about the person who died either.
Yeah.
I suppose they're still doing their inquiries, but 11 months before they actually arrested someone on it. But that's crazy, man.
That's fucking mad, isn't it?
That's what.
But
it's porn star world, innit?
There you go, man. They're into some. I think certain porn stars are probably into some wild shit, and I think others are probably into
less wild shit.
Croquet.
Croquet,
You know?
bowls.
Just knitting.
I mean, I'd like to experience something like that, but not in those. I'd like to experience, like we were saying earlier, actually going somewhere to one of these ritual places where it's done a lot, and people go there to have these experiences.
Yeah.
Whether they, I remember listening to what's the guy who used to host Nevermind the Buzzcocks,
Mark
and then he did that Grandma's House show.
Simon Amstel.
Yeah, I listened to him on a podcast once talk about when he went to go do it, and everyone went to the same sort of temple. And how he actually, he was feeling really down and a bit suicidal and stuff, and he went there to like have this experience. It sounded fucking mental. Like, it did just sound insane. Some people don't even make it that far. It's not like you get there and you do it straight away. You end up
it's a whole process, man.
Yeah, and you end up throwing up loads beforehand. Like, it just sounds like, I don't know how much I enjoy that aspect of it, but it sounds like
What are you talking about, Greg?
You have to go through a lot before you get there.
More than any person.
That's true. I've not been sick for a while.
No, it's
I've not
true.
been sick for a while. I don't think I've even been sick during lockdown. Oh no, I tell a lie. I did throw up a couple of times, but I think that was just me getting stressed out. So I had another story here, one more, and this one's definitely has been on my list for a while, and 100% is aimed at. Well, not aimed at. It's definitely going to piss Joe off. Are you aware?
Any guess? Jason Momoa's in it.
No. Don't worry. Let me just get rid of all these bloody ads that are popping up. Did you hear about the woman who is she's basically on the board for Twitch? She's on the Twitch Trust and Safety Council.
I did read this. Yeah, I absolutely did read this. I heard all about this.
She identifies as a deer. She looks fucking mental. She had a video. So this article was from May this year, 21st. But there was an article not long before where she orgasmed on Twitch. And she called it a deergasm. And she did it live on Twitch. And I saw it, and it was weird. She was just sat there kind of going, like, it was really weird. And she orgasmed. And it was very weird to watch. Very weird to watch. She called it a deergasm. Her name is Ferociously Steph. And she had a deergasm live on Twitch. But now, people are starting to... She's now claiming that she's dangerous and people should be afraid of her because she has this power of being on the council at Twitch. And basically, it seems harmless when you think she lives her life as a deer, but people are starting to be concerned that Ferociously Steph is part of the Twitch Trust and Safety Council, and she's got some weird viewpoints about life. And she's starting to think that, she's starting to have this theory that most gamers are white supremacists.
She's just decided to have this theory without testing it.
Yeah, and she's been and she's just I don't know. Oh, here she is.
I'm just not cool with white supremacy, y'all. It's really not that. I think a lot of you gamers are actually white supremacists. Sorry. Just a fact.
Wow, sorry.
It's not a fact.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. Not a fact. Barely a fact. But she's also saying how she has this power because she can literally get you off Twitch because she's on the fucking board, and people being she needs to have this taken off her. Someone like this should not have that power. Her ego is growing. She's going to start misusing the power. It literally sounds like the beginning of the dark side from Star Wars.
It
started with a woman having a deergasm.
Mate, it sounds like fucking Nazis. That's what it fucking sounds like.
There's been a bit of
which is fucking ironic for someone that's not up with white supremacy.
So there's a big uproar from the Twitch community about how long Ferociously Steph's powers will last, and but so if they do get rid of her, she'll just spend more time in the garden eating grass, I guess, like a deer.
Well,
she
watch
does
out,
that.
because
There were in the masturbating video, there was footage of her grazing, right?
When's deer hunting season?
Oh yeah, get her into Bushy Park doing the deer cull.
Take her head off. That's what you fucking want.
Take
her head off.
That's so I mean, this is why these stories are kind of getting through, I guess, what's happening, as the world burns, these stories are coming through because they're just mental. So we've literally had fucking the guys break into a house to stroke a guy with a broom because he gets stuff on it. We then had a guy die from a porn star making him inhale venomous toad venom. Venomous toad venom.
Venomous toad venom.
And then we
It's
have
venomous.
ferociously Steph, who identifies as a deer, but yet talks and stuff and is on a board of fucking Twitch. But then had a deergasm live on Twitch and is now saying all gamers are white supremacists. I mean, why would you give this person any power? I don't understand. I mean, it's
Why
news,
is
innit?
why is this the world we fucking live in? Why is this
know.
what like this like?
And I would say one day, we'll try and do an episode full of really positive news, but it'd just be boring.
What? No, I just.
Speaking of positive news, did you see in one of the Serbian groups someone got a recent photo of Scooter Granny?
I did see that. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is a lot older than I last saw her. Cause
She's got to be. Yeah.
But I saw her because I remember it always comes up when it's It was mate. Maybe it was. Do you ever told her the time when I saw her on she was on WorldStar? She was on the WorldStar website.
Oh yeah.
Someone had sent someone had sent a video of her in Kingston, just darting along. But yeah, no, she's. I mean, yeah, it's good to see her. She looked very well, but very grey. She got a lot more grey now.
They reckon she's in her 90s, don't they?
Scooter on around in the 90s.
Yeah, fucking good on her. Good
Yeah, fair play. That is a nice.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope,
I've
it's
got
gone.
nothing else.
Okay, I
Nothing
thought
else.
Jay's going to drop some
Nothing else.
insightful knowledge here. But no, he's gone. So those are the stories I had. I only threw in the deer one because I knew that one that would wind you up. And it had
Cheers,
been on
man,
my,
yeah.
and it had been on my list of things for. Well, that was a recent one, but
There
the
was,
original deergasm one had been on my list for a while.
There was something similar recently as well with some. I think it was some girl on Twitch or whatever. I think it was Twitch. Or a streaming service where they do a live stream of themselves or whatever, and she started her video and just sort of saying that the subscribers weren't giving her enough money. She was just you're not giving me enough money.
So,
if you go out and work, you can give me $10, and it's just you're a fucking shithead, you are.
So we saw a lot of Instagram influencers struggled during lockdown because people needed their money and weren't giving money to them as much, and they were and there was literally that girl, wasn't there, who was crying live on Instagram being I don't want to go, I can't, don't make me go get a job, what's happening?
Tough shit.
But there's been a lot, they've really struggled because there's something bigger happening in the world, and they are irrelevant even to their fans. They're now irrelevant.
That is it, completely
and it's just it's really it's done a number on a few
reality check, man. Welcome to it. I saw a bunch of shit about because obviously all the protests of the Black Lives Matters protests and stuff are going on, and I've seen so many influencers getting called out. Lucy sent me this this page which is called Influencers in the Wild. And it's people recording influencers and then send it to this page for them to post it and everything.
Was this the woman with the drill?
The woman with the drills one.
Yeah. That's
I just saw.
Can
I
you
just
take a
saw
picture
another
of me using your drill so it looks like I'm helping rebuild the city? And then she got back in her car.
And then just fucked off back into her car. She
Yeah.
got fired. That's apparently the outcome of that one. She's been fired by the company she worked for. I just saw another one as well, which was it looked like a woman doing a Victoria's Secret photo shoot with this a Black Lives Matter sign whilst the parade, the protest going on behind her, and there's a guy just taking a fucking photo.
Yeah,
it's bullshit. It's people don't there's no sort of filter to how low people will go.
No, because you can make your audience believe anything by a photo.
Yeah,
100% you can.
Did you see about that? The Jake Paul of the Paul brothers.
Oh, the brother. Yeah.
He was supposedly caught filming looting and protesting in somewhere, and everyone fucking busted him, and apparently he's gonna face charges.
Yeah, fucking hilarious.
Yeah, dude. It's just
hilarious. Which is bad because he was caught doing it, but it's probably also a waste of police time because there's probably other things they need to be doing, and they're oh, for God's sake, this idiot filmed himself And now we have to arrest him because he filmed himself. Even though I really need to,
Fucking
need to
ball
deal
bag.
with all this other stuff that's happening across the road. I don't need to deal with this guy, and I've got to go to his mansion now and arrest him because he filmed himself looting like an idiot.
Yeah. I bet he didn't I tell you what, I bet he didn't get a fucking knee on the back of the neck, did he?
Yeah, well, deserves one. So, we were talking about doing our fucking top 5 Simpson episodes. Joe pitched it to us last episode.
Shit, yeah, I forgot.
Fuck. We did our top 5 games, and Joe was like, "Oh, we should do our top 5 Simpson episodes," because obviously I've been smashing through them on Disney Plus recently.
Indeed. Oh man, Lucy got Disney Plus. We watched Black Panther the other night. We started to watch all the Marvel movies.
And you started with Black Panther.
Yeah, we just saw it there. I was just like, oh, I haven't seen that one, and it was just like, all right, fair enough. And then there was all the way through, it's just like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, who's that guy? And I was like, oh, he's in another film. And she was like, great, all right, that's not very helpful.
Yeah, should have started at the beginning. That would have made way more sense. I still love your description of what Black Panther is in a much earlier episode where you're like, Kendrick Lamar's King of an Island. So good.
Kendrick Lamar's The Lion King or something. I don't know.
Fucking good. So I have my top 5 Simpson episodes.
Cool.
I got them. Because when we messaged each other yesterday or the day before, and you were like, oh, top 5 Simpsons episodes. Like, cool. And I was like, well, I need to think of mine. And I literally did it in minutes. And I've realised, and it wasn't until I was like, you know what, maybe I should add what season they were. So I went back. All mine are from season 8 or 6.
Really?
All top 5 are from 8. And I didn't realise when picking them until I went back to see what season they were just to pull it down, that they're all from, in fact, mostly season 8.
Man.
And 2 from season 6.
I got 3. I need to think of 2 more.
You had 3 then.
Yeah, mate, I didn't do my list, all right, but I've just remembered number 4. It's fine. I've just got to remember the cunt's name.
Shall I do mine?
Yeah,
I wonder if any of ours will cross over.
Yeah, I reckon they will.
I've actually got these in order as well, of my top 5. 1 being my favourite, and then from there. Number 5, Homer's Enemy, the Grimes episode, where that guy joins the. He's actually worked really hard and studied to work in a nuclear power plant.
Grimy.
Grimy. Grimy, as his friends knew him, and it's so funny. And at first he's just like he just hates Homer, and at first he's just trying to like get on with his life. But then he starts and he sets up Homer to take part in like a kid's.
It's like a model
making a power plant.
Yeah.
And Homer literally makes the power plant and adds like lightning stripes to it. and Grimes like, look everyone, Homer Simpson's in a kids competition. Like, yo, you leave Homer alone. I want to hear who wins. And and he has the whole breakdown of, I'm Homer Simpson. I can touch the I don't need safety gloves to grab these wires because I'm Homer Simpson. And it cuts to his funeral. It's so good. It's so good. Fucking good.
I love it I love his breakdown though, because it is him just doing a series of screams. He just goes, ah!
Yeah. He literally has a mental break. Number 4 is Homer the Great, which is the Stonecutters episode. The Stonecutters episode, which is really fucking good.
You know what? I had me and my sister
Stewart as well.
Yeah, me and my sister had like a VHS tape, and it was one of my episodes.
Not
was
a
like
VHS tape.
It was back in the day, mate.
A VHS CD.
No. So like we had this one of like my first choice is the one from it, and one of the other ones on there was the Stonecutters, and it is a fucking brilliant episode. It's such a classic fucking episode. Yeah.
I love it when Homer joins and he's just like, yo, here's the real number for 911.
It's like 912.
Gives him the card and it's 912.
The thing is, that's another joke in a different episode where someone calls like the police, and it's like but everyone's watching TV or something's going on, and they're just like, huh? No, this is 912. Just puts the phone down.
Episode 3 was Lemon of Troy, which is when they have the rivalry of Shelbyville, and they get the lemon tree, and and to this point, I thought this was earlier than season 6. Apparently, it's season 6, and that's when it has the you realise Shelbyville. You hear a lot about Shelbyville, and here you get a proper look at it, and you realise it's pretty much Springfield.
Yeah, but it's
It
like an
literally is
alternate
sprinkled.
universe. Like,
There is that great moment, I think it's this episode, where Bart gets caught by some Shelville people and he's got the spray cans. And he's like, I use the spray cans as like jets to get out of it. So long, suckers! And he's like, looks up and just sprays his feet red.
yeah, dude. Oh, man.
Right, we're getting down to it now. So, number 2, Homer's Phobia, the one I mentioned previously, which has John Walters voicing in it when it's Homer meets the gay guy.
Oh, yeah.
And like, apparently, even though this episode is 20 years old, apparently it actually was a big thing for the gay community, and especially on TV.
Yeah, I bet, man.
It actually was a huge thing. It had a really positive effect, even though some of the jokes aren't very positive. You know, Homer's obviously doesn't like the fact there's a gay guy. You think once he finds out he's gay, he's all just like, oh, I danced with him. Oh, he looked at me. Oh, I touched him.
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah.
Like, and there's a few jokes in there that really are close to the mark where I'm just like, God, I can't believe they got away with this. But really good fucking episode. Really like that one. And I watched that recently and it really held up and I laughed quite a lot out loud. My favourite episode is You Only Move Twice. Hank Scorpio.
And there is where we cross over.
And is that, I'm surprised that's the first one we've crossed over on.
Yeah, man.
That episode is fucking brilliant.
It's
just
so
like
good.
that Hank Scorpio, literally when they're in the new house and he runs in, he's like, hey Homer, hey, you like these shoes? Yeah? You like these shoes? There's a pair for you in your cupboard. You don't like them? Get out of it. You don't like them, nor do I. Get out of his shoes. All right, you guys are sort of settled in. Anyway, can't stay. I'm in the middle of a fun run. Runs out of the crowd. Like,
I'll see you at work tomorrow. Not that I like to call it work.
I'm looking for some sugar. Oh, here you go. Get sugar out his pocket. You want milk? You want some cream? No. And it's just he's just the friendly Bond villain. Like it's so good.
I love it. That is a good one.
Such a good episode. So they are my top 5. It might change. Definitely those top 3 are the same. But yeah, that is my top 5 since episodes. Actually was a lot easier than I thought it'd be to put those together.
I mean, I've got 5, but I'm not sure about the last one. I might change my mind whilst I'm talking about them.
Okay.
But I think the ones that some of these are, again, I mean, I'm going to change the one where we've crossed over, and obviously
no, you shouldn't have to. You don't have to change it if it's your
right,
favourite.
because now I've got an additional choice.
Oh right. So if it's your favourite, it's your favourite.
Yeah, no, I was gonna put the You Only Move Twice as one of them because that is a fine doing. Actually, fuck, I'm gonna have to find out which one it is because I believe it's one of the Halloween episodes.
Right.
It's not anyway. I'll go for mine.
There's many Halloween episodes.
Yeah. So my first one is the Springfield Files, the X-Files episode with Mulder and Scully.
Was almost on my list. I almost put it on my list because I love Mulder and Scully. It was a big thing, that episode.
I like no, because I like it when he's like when every time like they show their like police badges, it's him, but like it's David Duchovny in a pair of pants. Like so good. But then also like they're in the pub, like we're talking with they're basically getting like Homer to retrace his steps from when he saw the alien, which involves him then getting hammered and he just passes out. And Mo comes over and he's just like, so who are you guys working for? And he's just like, we're with the FBI. And he's like, FBI, huh? And he just goes into a back room and he's got like a killer whale in there.
Us. Yeah,
and he's just like, all right, they're onto us. Get him back to SeaWorld. So just all the way. And there's like the bit where like Homer's like walking home and it's all really like scary and like dark and that. And you start hearing the like psycho sound. And a bus just pulls up with like an orchestra on it and one of them gets off. Just like still. It's just so many stupid little things like that.
That is an ongoing joke in Simpsons. Orchestra on a bus. There's a few episodes that involve an orchestra on a bus of Simpsons, I've noticed.
Good,
top choice. Was almost in mine actually, that episode.
I always like the one as well. There's another bit, but it's not so much people on a bus, but it's when Homer and his dad become like tonic salesmen.
Oh yeah,
traveling snake oil like sort of men, and they go to one town.
To make you really horny, isn't it? Like
yeah. But they go to like one town and they get chased out of it, and his dad's just like, "Oh, this is all your fault." And he's like, "What are you talking about? They stopped chasing us if you just turned up this getaway music." And he turns it off, and they just turn around and just go the other way. And it's like, "Oh, don't." So yeah, I like the X-Files episode. My second one is the episode where the kids go to Camp Krusty. And it's been taken over by a corporation and like the bullies from school.
Don't be the boy. Don't be the boy.
Yeah.
Don't be the boy.
So like the whole thing's just but the whole thing about it is it's just such a great build up. Like it's the whole kind of sort of like last day of school shit, and they're like, and they're going there, but it's when they're there, and it's all just kind of like all the bullies are there taking over and shit.
Because they're in charge, aren't they? They're like,
yeah.
It's almost like Camp Crystal. Like
you
get there and they're in charge, and there's no actual Krusty or anything there. Yeah.
There's like a video of him like saying, "I'll be with you soon, but I'm gonna go and enjoy Wimbledon" or something like that.
Yeah, he does. He goes to Wimbledon.
He goes to Wimbledon. But there's one bit in it as well where they introduce the bullies and they're all just standing there looking down at these kids, and then one of them just coughs ever so lightly, and the bullies just go, "Looks like we've got a troublemaker," and they just grab him like. So that's I like the Camp Krusty one, and then also I think from the same season is Bart's friend falls in love, which is when Milhouse gets a girlfriend.
Who's his girlfriend?
It's like the new girl that joins school and shit, and Milhouse just starts like spending all his time with her, and Bart gets really jealous, so like he calls her dad, and he takes her away to like a girls' school or something, and it's just like but the start of that episode was when they mimicked the giant rock scene from Indiana Jones, and Bart
leaving. Yes,
Bart steals the giant jar of change,
and Homer's the ball, and then he jumps onto the school bus, doesn't he?
Yeah. I always remember that from that episode, man. That's like
great.
Stand
That's
out,
awesome.
Absolutely stand out. There's I'm gonna do honorable mentions, but fuck it.
How many was that you just listed?
That's 3.
Right. Okay.
Number 4 is the casino episode.
Yeah, good choice. When
Mr. Burns
in his treehouse.
Yeah, when Mr. No. When Mr. Burns opens a casino on the pier.
Yeah, it does. But doesn't is that not the same episode when Bart opens a casino in his treehouse?
Oh, maybe it is.
Oh
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because he tries to get in, doesn't he? And the guy's like, "Oh, you can't be in here." He's like, "You'll see." He's like, "What are you gonna do? Go open a casino in your treehouse, invite your little friends? I'd like to see that." And then he does it, and the guy's in the garden looking, and he's like, "Oh, wow, he showed me."
He showed me. Oh man, yeah, and there's also just like Mr. Burns just loses his mind, becomes like super like conscious
the germaphobe.
Yeah, it becomes a germaphobe. He says like, and he's there and he's just like, "Smithers, come look! I've created a flying machine that can get you from Boston to LA in under 2 hours." And it's just like, I call it the Spruce Moose.
Yeah, it's a tiny little. He's like, "Jump aboard, we'll get on board." And he's like, "Yes, sir, it's time to get on board." I've got the Spruce Moose.
Get in. Yeah. Oh man, and you know what? When Bart becomes Mr. Burns' successor. Successor.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that. I was going to put the Treehouse of Horrors one where they did the mocking of the Shining.
Nice, yeah, it's a good episode.
But I'm going to go, Bart. When Bart
segment.
becomes the heir to Mr. Burns.
Yeah, good shout. I think I saw that one recently as well. I've seen a lot of Burns-centric episodes recently.
I like it though, man. He's such a piece of shit in it. Like,
yeah, he is. Yeah, he is proper shit. He's a big piece of shit, man. He's hilarious.
What's the one where apparently the guy turns up saying he's Mr. Burns' son? And
yeah, I saw that one recently. Yeah,
it's the guy voicing it is Rodney Dangerfield.
Nice. So there's actually some crazy guests in it.
How you doing, Pops? Give my regards to Mrs. Boy ID.
That's really good, actually. Exactly how he sounds. Yeah, that's a good fucking top 5, man. Again, I've seen pretty much all those recently, especially that Burns on with his son was on recently.
Yeah.
And
we could do like another Simpsons list, but it's our favorite guest voice actors in it.
Good shout. Yeah, because most of mine top 5 here are pretty much Homer-centric episodes.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. In fact, apart from Lemon of Troy, they're all Homer-centric episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked the Stonecutter one because Patrick Stewart was in it. And I fucking
course.
love Patrick Stewart. Like,
Mate, I'm even thinking of like removing mine now. I'd say like I'd even take out the casino one and put in like one of the like the third SpongeBob episode where they're
SpongeBob?
not
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob, fucking SpongeBob, Sideshow Bob. When they're on the boat and they go into witness protection and shit.
Yeah, and he makes him sing that whole song, doesn't he?
There's the whole scene of like the agents with like Homer and saying, okay, so when I say Mr. Thompson, you say hello, and he just doesn't get it, and it's just like,
I think
when
he's talking
I
to you.
Stamp on your foot and shout and look you in the eyes and say, Mr. Thompson, you say okay. And he's like, you got it. And just does it, and then he does it, and he goes, I think he's talking to you.
I'm looking through a list of just people that have been on Simpsons guest stars.
Yeah.
I've got a good horse, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy.
That was a long
There
time
he
ago.
is, Patrick Stewart.
But didn't play Michael Jackson.
Like, fucking just like, oh yeah, Linda and Paul McCartney.
Oh,
Kelsey
that was a Lisa centric episode. That one, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that one they only agreed to do it if Lisa stayed a vegetarian for future episodes. So that's the only reason she continued being a vegetarian. Because they're like, we're not going to do it. She's not vegetarian next episode. What's the point? God, yeah, of course, fucking Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, valid.
Fucking yeah, man, Liam Neeson. Oh, of course, Ricky Gervais was on it. Ronaldo was on it. Ronaldo was on it, not Ronaldo as in like the Ronaldo now, the Ronaldo from
old
our
Ronaldo.
era. Yeah, old Ronaldo. Old
What the
Ronaldo.
fuck? That's weird.
Katy Perry. He's the only footballer. Tom Hanks, of course, he's in the movie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kevin Smith was on one recently. I think it was during the beginning of Corona. Apparently, he's the first guest star they ever had to like do the vocals and mix the vocals to the. Basically, they had to do the episode from home.
Oh,
So, like,
wow, okay.
So, like, mixing the vocals at home, he was the first episode they'd had to do that with.
Damn.
Which is interesting. so I heard Kevin Smith say in a podcast.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, that was yeah, I enjoyed that, top 5 Simpsons episodes. That was fucking cool.
That was good. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I enjoyed that. I'll kind of
Many more.
Yeah, I want to go watch all the top ones again, actually. Go watch your top 5 and my top 5.
I'll get anything with Ralph in as well, man. I like Ralph is, I think, possibly my favourite just non-character in The Simpsons.
He's my favourite bit of him still in the film when you see Bart's dick, which is insane.
Yeah, I like men now.
I like men now. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
Do you remember the episode when a new girl joins school and she's like smarter than Lisa? And,
yes.
And they like and I think they do the dioramas and Ralph wins and they're just like they start talking to Ralph. He just doesn't get it, so he just says things that he likes. He's just like, my cat's breath smells like cat food.
No, my favourite bits when with Ralph moment is when Skinner and Krabappel were caught snogging in the cupboard. And it shows all the Chinese whispers of all the kids telling the parents, apparently they were found naked in the cupboard. And Ralph's like, Krabappel and Skinner were caught naked babies in the cupboard, and I saw one of the babies, and it smiled at me. And then Wiggum's like, "Get me the chief of police."
Oh yeah. Oh, what about
Really
when Bart sells his soul? That's another
The
fine
Millhouse,
episode.
yeah, that's a really good episode as well. I saw that one recently.
What's
I've seen a lot of them
one
recently.
Oh mate, what the one where it goes Lord of the Flies? The complete like Lord of the Flies episode.
Yeah, that's really fucking good as well. Yeah,
Endless.
Yeah,
you
man.
could say endless. Wait, we could do an entire fucking episode, but we're not gonna.
Well, we almost have.
True.
I would say that wraps up this episode.
I think so. Well, I can no longer see you, so I mean, usually that's how I time it.
Oh, yes, I can't see myself. Oh, yeah, I have gone pitch black. Let me turn on the light so you can see me briefly for a bit. Hey, here I am.
Oh, I thought you might be masturbating.
Here I am. No. I saved that for afterwards. Send you pictures of it. Yeah. Making that noise as well all the time. Right, yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. I enjoyed that. We have to think of another top 5, but I haven't got one on top of my head just yet, so we'll think of another top 5 to bring up. So I'm quite enjoying the top 5. It's a nice, it's a nice
variation.
To roll out on. Yeah, I'll think of we'll think of something to do.
Yeah, something that there's an abundance of.
Something like
we've done what we've done. We've done music. We've done movies. We've done Simpsons.
And games. We haven't really done Yeah, we did.
Oh, we didn't do it. Yeah, we.
No, bear in mind, a couple of years ago, we did do an entire episode of top fives.
We should do. I think during the week we should do we could just finish it by doing like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good shout. We do something like that. Yeah, awesome. Okay, Jay. Yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed that. Lots of interesting views into the dark little corners of this world that is happening beyond the world outside our window.
It's trying times. Let's see what happens before the next episode, eh?
Yeah. See what's happened next time. See how much of people's souls have been chipped away or fucking set on a new path of destruction, or hopefully heading towards a good outcome.
Enlightenment.
But we'll see.
My money's on Rapture, but whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be aliens, though, isn't it? Thanks for listening. I've been Greg. Stroke me with a broom handle, Armstrong.
I guess that leads me to be Joe Hallucinogenic Toad Jackson.
Oh, get in there. Bye.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of the All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.